What we're going to be doing today is we're going to do a Caesar shift in using a 1D array. It looks like Yuna already did that right here. She made a function. I'm going to do it a little bit differently, but we're going to do it together. It's going to scramble the data. Okay. Can you open up Python? Go IDLE, and we're going to do three things today. Go File, New, and put down today's date, January the 16th, 2026. Put your name. This is on Mr. Newson, and the topic is we're going to do password and encryption. Okay. We could also maybe, if we have time, about random, because remember about imports, we didn't do any kind of imports. That was part of the homework before, but I think we need to fushi 도일이야. Okay, about how to make the random thing. Cool. Go File, Save As. Save this into your desktop. You should have a little folder on your computer. Okay. I'm going to save this as 3.7. That's where we are in networking. So let me see here. It's it should be saved somewhere on your desktop. Have a folder. Okay, let me just find my desktop right here. Right, IG, and I'm gonna call this 3.7 passwords. Password coding. Okay, are you girls ready? So let's just do a quick review. What is encryption? What is encryption there, Carol? We studied, this is like part of networking. When you send data and you encrypt it, what does it mean to do? What does encryption mean? Yeah, it means to encode or to scramble the data, right? And so let's do schoolwork number 1. Make 1D cipher. Okay. If you go back to one of our homeworks, it was to create a cipher shift using Python. Okay. I kind of put it as a bonus, but I think it's important that we should be able to do it. Okay. So make a 1D cipher shift. Okay. Using arrays, 1D array. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want you to make the letter list. Okay. Inside your list, I want you to write the alphabet. Okay. So we're going to go A, B. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do a couple of them. Okay. C, D. Write down the alphabet. Okay. I'm just going to go up to G. Let's get some more. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Do you have a keyboard you can type there, Carol, or you want to use the school computer? Okay, just to make sure that your array is working, let's just print the alphabet, the letters, and we have the alphabet right here. Agree or disagree? How many letters are in the alphabet there, Yuna? How many letters are in the alphabet? 24. Let's see if we're right. I'm going to put LEN letters. This should put how many letters we have in the alphabet. And it says we have 26. There's 26 letters in the alphabet? There's 26. Okay. So there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So we're going to make a cipher shift. What a cipher shift does is A becomes C or D. And so we are going to make a variable called shift. Okay. And let's say I want a shift forward 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3, I could put +3 or -3. This means we're going to encrypt the data. So passwords and data on the internet should be encrypted. We're going to make a cipher shift right here, a Caesar shift. We're going to move the letters to the right 3 places. Okay. So first, what we're going to do is I'm going to get an input of a letter, and then I'm going to find that letter, and I'm going to shift and return the other letter. Okay. So let's ask for a password. Okay. Password. Please is an input. Please enter a password. We're going to get a password, and it's going to scramble the data. Okay, using a Caesar shift. Please enter a password using only letters. Using letters. Okay, using words only. Okay, later we're going to talk about how we can also check for symbols and things like that. But we only want to have words, so I could say password is open the door or something, open door. Okay. And then what we want to do is scramble that data. Okay. So get a user password. And then what we're going to do is scramble it. So I'm going to print the password when I get it. Okay. For example, I'm going to test door and I'm going to scramble that. So let me hit run here. Enter a password, door, for example. And what I want to do is I want to convert door into garbage data so that no one can read my password. How can I do that there, Carol? I want this letter to shift in the alphabet, and I want to move. D becomes 1, 2, 3, it becomes G. So 这么做, how can I change D to this? Using an array. What do you think? What is the very first thing I have to do with this word? First, you need to locate the D, right? The very first thing is to take him, find where he is, and then 加3. The next thing is I find O. I find O and then 加3 and then returns this. Agree or disagree? So the very first thing is you need to know where that letter is in the alphabet. You need to find him and then 加3. Agree or disagree? And so I need to make an algorithm. After I have it, I need to find the letter, then add 3. Add the shift. This is kind of like the idea that you did, right, Yuna? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this B, and I'm going to try to find him where he is in the alphabet, and then I'm going to add 3 to it, then shift 3. Okay. So let's print. How do I find the very first item in the password? How do I return this there, Yuna? For a string, how do I print the ego wager for the password? I'm going to print password, and I want the ego wager. What is the very first location? 1? Okay, let's have a try. I'm going to put door. It said, oh, so it should be 0. It only put 1 if it's on the call sheet, okay? Yeah, so you put 0. This is going to give me D. So after I have D, what am I going to do there, Carol? After I have the very first letter, I need to, what do I need to do? You need to find where he is, 对不对? I need to see D 在哪里? It's 0, 1, 2, 3. It's on the 3rd location. How can I do that? I need to search. What you need to do is search. What we need to do is search in the array and find the letter, right? We need to find out where D is because we need to know that it is the 4th item in the array, and then we need to add 3 to the array. Agree? So how can I do that? Is I can loop, search through the loop. So I go for I in the length of my alphabet. This is going to do a loop, and it's going to search through this. This is called a linear search. All right? And we want to find D. So I'm going to say if letter I, so as I go through, I is going to be 0. A is not equal to D. So I want to keep on going, right? If letter I is equal to the very first guy, then that means I found him. Agree or disagree? If, as I'm searching through this and I find D, which is the very first guy in there, we're going to print. I'm gonna print found. And then I'm going to put right here password 0. It means I found the very first item in the password. Okay. And I'm going to print what his location is. I can actually find the location. The location will be equal to I. It'll be equal to I. Okay, wherever I is when he found him. I guess we could say I plus 1 so that you can know where he is. Okay? So let's have a run and see if we can actually find D. What should this return there, Carol? D is what location? It's 0, 1, 2, 3. So, but I put I plus 1, so it should say 4 in this case. So I'm going to say door. It's going to try to find out where D is. For I, okay. We have a problem with the loop here. It says for I in letter this didn't give me the right thing. Okay, I need to go back here. Ah, yes. Okay, this should be 26. I think I'm missing a bracket. This has a dola iga bracket. Huh? No, it should be okay. This should go 26. The length of the letter. Let's just put 26 for now. See if that fixes the thing. Okay. Oh, I know. I forgot range. Dola iga range. Sorry. Length of letter. Okay, I forgot to include this range. Okay, that was a typo. Syntax error. Okay, I'm gonna put door. And it found the location is 4. Agreed? Very good. So after I find the location, what is the last thing after I find him? What do I need to do now there, Yuna? After you find him, I need to change his data. So what do I need to do? D is going to become what? Using a shift. We want to move to the right how many places? I found D. I need to just that, right? So what I'm going to do then is convert that. Yeah, it's going to add 3 to that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the encoded. I'm going to make the encoded word into a list here, okay? So after I find him, I want to shift 3 units to the right, okay? So how to do that? I'm going to say encoded. Yes. It's not share now? Okay. Let me try. It's not share. Can you, okay. Is that okay? Okay. So I'm going to put the encoded message in here. Okay. This is to hold my encoded password. So my very first item inside my coded message is going to be equal to the location that I found him, which is actually I. Okay, it's going to be equal to letter I plus the shift. Okay, in this case, my shift is 3, so that's gonna move. I found D. That's sure I'm gonna go 0, 1, 2, 3. It should put G here. Okay, let's just see if this works. Let's see if this works here. I'm going to at the end here print my encoded password. Okay, well it should return. Let's see. D should become 叫什么? So we 1, 2, 3. It should be G. Okay, so that's what we're looking for if this works. So please enter a password using words. I'm going to say door. List assignment is out of range. The reason, okay, we this encoded thing, we have to make sure it's set with some data here. I'm gonna put 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put some data in there, just some garbage data. Door. Oh, didn't work? Look, I got G in here. I found D is in door and I put it into here. Agree or disagree? So it means that I can now find the letter and I can I'm converting door into garbage data. But we need to now find the second guy. But we already know how to do it. We already know how to find it. We just need to keep on 继续做. Okay? So let's have a look at the code. Right now, I can find it. I found the if as I'm going through here, it's going to first take the first item in my password, D for door. The next thing, I need to find the second thing. So that's going to be another loop. So we want to probably do a loop in a loop. Okay? So because we want this to happen, how long or how many letters there are in the password. Agree? Because we already found D. Agree? The next thing we have to find out is O. I need to find O, and then I need to encode it, and I need to shift O. So what we're going to do is this list here, it searches through all the letters to find the very first item. But I want to repeat this. So in here, I'm going to go for Y in range. I'm going to make a other loop here to loop through how long my password is. Okay. So in here, I'm going to go length of my password. Because you need to search for each letter in the password. If my password is 4个 letters, I need to search for each letter one at a time. So if for y in range, this is going to search for each letter in the password. Okay. And then I need to put everything in here. Okay. If it finds it, it's going to tell me where it's located. And then after I find it, I'm going to, instead of this is going to be y. Okay. Y is, I'm just using a random variable called y. And this will be y. And this will be y. Okay. Let's see if this works. I should get 4 things. Door should be G. O should be R. It should be GRR, and then R becomes, we shift over 3. It should be U. Let's see if this works. Are you ready? I'm going to hit run and see if we can. We need to have the Maha. I'm going to put door. Look, did it find D? It said D is at wager san. Okay. It found O. O is at 1414. And we got this. This is the encrypted data. Is that what we expected? It looks like it's working. It says GRU. Okay. And this is just showing you how we can use a list. We found him, and then we added 3 more. We just shifted to the right or left. Okay. So this is an algorithm. We call this an algorithm. That's, again, how does it work? We get a mima, we get a password. Then what we do is we search through all the letters using, for I in range, the length of the letters. The alphabet is 26. You could just use the letter 26, but using this is better. And then I have a loop inside here because I need to search for each letter in my password. And door has 4. And then if I find him, I just said found. I found the location. And then I'm going to update my other array here with the shifted data. Does that make sense? And then this is going to print out the encoded information. Okay, so let's do it with a different word. I'm going to say cat. Cat is my password. And so C is going to become F. So this is the password I give into the computer, and we're going to codify it. Look, cat becomes FDW. And that is how data can be, see, it found, yeah, it found the data and then it codified it there. Cool. So that is one way to do it. What I want you to do, yes, please ask a question. What part don't you understand there, Carol? Okay, so the input, we have a password, okay? So let me, what does this do right here? Can you explain, what does this loop do? For I in range L letter, what does this do? This is going to do a loop that is 26. if I don't want to have here, I could put 26 because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. Agree? And so I need to have a loop to look at each one of these and say, hey, are you equal to the very first guy into my password? Agree or disagree? Okay? But instead of putting 26, I put length of the letters. Okay? Because it's imuyang. Okay? There's 26 here because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. What is this right here? I have a loop in a loop is because I need to search for D. I need to first search for the very first letter in my password. Agreed? And then if I find him, I'm going to return something. Then after, I need to look at O. Where's O? And so this for Y in range is to search, is to search for each letter in the password. Do you understand this part right here, Carol and Uma? Yuna? 这个 range 干什么? This range is to search for each of these letters within this. This is to search. Also, we have to search again. 44. We need to actually do this. If you don't want, if the length of it, this is actually 4. 对不对? Because I have 4 here. That's sure will be treating that you are going to have a password that has 4. So that's why I go length of password. Because maybe you have 长的密码. 有可能 you have 短的密码. So I use length of password because we'll be treating 你的密码多长. Right? This part okay? Now I say 如果 I have found a letter. As I search through here, and I found him, if it's equal to them, 我找到了. I found the location of that letter in the alphabet. Does that make sense right here? 如果 as I'm searching and I found out D, 我知道它的位置. I know the location he is in the alphabet. Does that make sense? 如果我知道它的位置是 I. Okay? Have a look here there, Carol. 举个例子 D. I search A 是0，对不对？看这边 A 是0 B 是1 C is 不对 and then I find D. D 是一模一样 to the very first part of my password. Agree? So then I already know his number. This is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 第三个位置，对不对？ So I already know that I is equal to 第三个位置。但是 I need to 保存 the 加3. So right here, I have my encoded data. I'm going to go I 加3. Shift is 3. You can't shift is 3. And so therefore, D 变 G. Does that make sense? Right here, after I know 它的位置, I'm 保存 in my encoded data, and I 放在这. I put I is the location 加3, and that will 保存 G. 试一下 and have a try. Let's give me other 密码. Give me a 单词. Okay. CAT. Cat become here. Is this correct? Let's have a try. C is right here. 但是我需要加3 is F. 对, F is correct. A 是第一个位置，对不对？但是需要加3 1, 2, 3 become D. Agree or disagree? 然后 T, if you look, the wager is 19, okay? But I have to 加3 1, 2, 3 it becomes W. So 没问题. It worked. Can you show me on your computers this work? I will minimize here. I want you to have a try and then change. This actually has a little bug because if I have Z what is z plus 3? We're gonna have a bug, and I'll show you how to fix that in a moment. I'll give you some time. Can I send this into the chat?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send this to the chat. You can just throw it into your computer. So let me open up the Teams. I'm gonna give you the code for today. We're 3.7 password code to codify. Basically, we're doing encryption. Okay. Post. Okay. Okay, can you can Fujer? Okay, I give it to you on the Teams, so please have a look. And then in a moment, I will show you how we can, this also has a bug that we need to fix. So I'll show you how to do that. But Yuna, is that Chinchu? Do you know why we have the other loop?
No.
第一个 loop 是26 干嘛? This is to search through all this because 我们有24个 letter, 对不对？但是我们是有2个 loop because how many the MIMA 也有几个 letter, right? And so we have to have a loop in a loop. The diarga loop is the loop of the password because the very first thing is you look at the very first letter of your password, let's say it's word, right? And then I must look at all him. 如果我没找到, okay, or I found him, okay. Then the second thing, I look at the diarga thing and then it goes, whoop. 如果 I find him, if I find the letter, if it's equal to him, then that means 我知道他的位置. I know where D is. D is here. And then right here, what I'm doing is I'm just altering the single letter into our array. I just that. So D, bien, 1, 2, 3, G. Okay? Do you have the code work? Can you just show me it's working on your laptop? Hit run, it should work. Where's your keyboard? Everything. We need keyboard. Keyboard is the one. So. 我看一下。I know it. Line 17. Yeah, it's a range. Wait. Can you diagonalize that? And we're gonna go for. I think you speak with Chinese. Are you used to Chinese? No. No, it's just great. Let's go instead of Ursula, put length. You make your length. Length. Where's the bracket? How do we do brackets? This one? No. So you're, and then you put the length of the. That's your. Okay. This push your link here. Oh, can you play that? Type some future. Right here. This is length pusher letter. 你拼错，这个是密码 is the length of the password. Did it work for you there, Yuna? Can you show me? Okay, shit, Lord.在复制的code. 26 will also work. You need a Wenti is this line right here. LEN Mima, for sure letter. This is your mistake. You can't. Okay, I want you to 再写一个关的密码 and see if it's the end of. Different English word. 你写. Okay, here. No, 再让一下. And then, share real and Mima and see if it can be in there. 为什么它没有 Do you install Python on your channel? Maybe use that. Maybe develop. Yeah. So if you can you type Python, just copy this code on the Python. This is online Python class. So you need to download the real Python. 这个是假的. This is the one 用上的没有了吗？哦，因为我们少了一个 shift 啊，我知道，因为那个变量忘了你的 at the very top shift is 3. I did maybe I forgot to copy this right here. This is that. Okay, did you write the other one? Now, Yuna, I want you to change shift to become Wu. Change this number Wu and then put in door again and see what happens. See if it has a different. Oh, it still doesn't work? Oh. It worked? Oh, okay, so that will go. How about if I do full R? If I put -2, will -2 work?因为你这个应该你有听错。You have the. Did it work? Can you verify? So D become like E 这个是对，对不对 ？Because shift means 你可以右拐还是左拐，哎，不好的你左拐。Now what happens if you go 50 do the shift 50 and then range that? What's happening when you put -10? Did it work there, Carol? Or it still has the bug? It still works? Sure, man. Say my password is BB's. If I'm not with what happens if I put them? I don't know if I put them. Oh, okay, yes, I'm not. You tell me. Or D加3是 and we get G. Big. Yeah, it worked. Okay. So do you girls understand the code, what we did? This is called a cipher. It's to encrypt for example, the Mima, and we shift to the right or left. And you can change this number to anything. It can be big or small. Can you try to put the shift as whoosher? What happens if the shift is tied down? Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see if there's a bug, or does it go right? What did it do? There. If the shift is too big, what happened? Can you have a try there, Gross? If the shift is too big, 50, it means if I have the letter 50, there is no 50 letters in the alphabet. Agree or disagree? So what happens if we put, let's trace 40. Okay, I'm gonna put 8. What does it say right here there, Yuna? Out of the range. It's because there is no 40. So how to fix this? If we loop too far to the right, we can come back to the beginning. Agree? Carol, can you have a look? Can you try to put 40 or 28, for example? If I put a shift bigger than my list, it means the shift is going to be outside my range. For example, right here, I put 8 加 28 is outside my list range. How to fix this? I'll give you Javin. How to fix this problem? 如果我的 shift is tied up, I want to loop him back here. I want to 编一个 because this shift is too big. So I can go around and reuse the alphabet. So I can use any shift number. How to do? Do you girls have some idea? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're correct. If right here, you know how we have my shift, 对不对? It's my I class shift. 如果 it's bigger than Arshilio, I can make sure he loops back to the beginning. So let's do that right here. So what we're going to do is after I find him, if I need to test if I plus shift, 看这边 girls, if I plus shift is bigger than R16, that means it's too big, 对不对? What I can do is my new location, okay, is going to be equal to, let's say it's 28. I can just minus 20 that from it, okay? It's going to be my I plus shift, okay, minus 26. Does that make sense? So, 举个例子, 28 is tied down. If my shift is tied down, I'm going to minus 26 from it, and then that would just be R. And then R will become B or C. Okay? And so right here, let's add this in the code because we need to fix the bug. If shift outside the list range. Okay? If it's B R16 the 想法 is I'm going to take that shift and I'm going to minus 26 to loop. This is called loop. This will loop back around. Okay? So let's see if this works. Okay, if this is true, then I'm going to this, else just do that. Okay. Let's see if this correct. Let's see if we get a total. Okay. I'm gonna hit run. We'll see if this fixes the bug. I'm gonna say my password is A. A plus 28 is B, the alphabet too big. Still give me a bug. Because he can't find that location straight. Right here. If this is greater than 26, location this should be location. This should be location. Okay? Just change this right here. Okay, I'm gonna have a run. Let's see if this works. Let me close this and rerun. Okay, A. It went back to C. It worked. You see? Because we did the shift. It went all the way to the alphabet and then it looped back and it came back to C. This fixed the range issue. Okay? You can have a try. Let's put 40. Let's do a 40 shift and see if it will come back to the beginning. Okay, let's have a try. I'm going to put A. It worked. It went to O. Okay, let's put 140. This is called test data when you're just testing some numbers in here. I'm going to say the password is A. Oh, that one didn't work. Okay, so we still have a bug. I have to make sure he is within the limits. Let me think about this. If the shift is too big, he still have a problem. Okay, because this minus 26 didn't get him back into the appropriate size. So 我想一想 because 140 减26还是太大. So how can I still fix this? 这个也有一个 bug. What we can do is divide it. I'll have to double check. Okay. Okay. Let's have there. Your schoolwork. Try to schoolwork. Schoolwork. This is what I want you to do, okay? Try to fix the bug if the shift is, let's say, bigger than e byte. If it's bigger than e byte, if we minus 26, he's still outside the range, 对不对? So 减的想法 doesn't always work, okay? So try to fix that. That's your schoolwork. You could divide it and see how many, the range, acceptable range is 0 to 25, right? That's acceptable. So I think you could divide it by 26. Instead of 减, what do you think there, Carol? 如果我们除, if we 除 26, will that work? Let's have a try. So 减 and then remainder? Let me think. How about we modulus? How about we get the remainder? How about we do this? We mod by Archelio. You know the mod? That will give me the remainder. But for example, if it's too big, we can see the extra. And then we can just be shipped over that much. Let's see if this works. I think this idea will work. Almost sure it's that, okay? So let's have a run. It looked like it worked. Okay, I'm gonna try 200. I'm gonna try 200. And hit run. Yeah, it worked. So what we did is modulus, and that just finds out the remainder, what's left over, and then it shifts it back. Dividend. Okay. This loops back around the alphabet. So mod works. Okay. How about if it's negative? 如果是负号, do we have the 头物? Let's see if we shift on the left. I put A. Okay. Here's schoolwork number 2. Schoolwork number 2, try to fix. Schoolwork 3, try to fix if the shift is negative. The answer for this one was to use mod. Use mod. For sure. I want to know if we negative, I want him to go this direction. So it means that if he's less than 0, I need to start it here and then whoop, and then whoop, whoop. Yes, but I want to know if 如果他们选的负200, we have a 头物. I want you to fix that. So 我可以选负200. I know that, but what happens if they put in the wrong one? We still get the 头物. I want to make it so that the program doesn't have the mistake. Okay? I think what we have to do is 如果 we need to have a other 如果 if I plus shift is less than 0, 对不对? What do we need to do? We need to loop back to here. It's going to be 26 minus, let me think about this. I think what I'm going to do is you take this answer, divide it by -1. I'm getting really complicated here. Divided by -1 to make it positive, and then I go 26 minus that. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense to me. Does that make... Let's see if this works. Okay. Extra bracket. Bracket. This is bracket. We need one more bracket. Bracket here. Bracket here. Okay. Hit run. Okay. Slices cannot be floats. So I can change it into an integer because that's going to make it a float. I can make this into an int. Make this into an int. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, A. Why didn't that work? Any comments from online? Let's have a look. Use range length. Use a pen to insert. Yeah, I know we can use those. What happens if you don't want to use a pen? Use range. Maybe you have to post the code. No, it's the first. So what we're trying to do is number 3, fix if you have a cipher shift negative that to loop around this thing here. Let me just start out here and let me think about it. If it's less than 0, let's say if it's -2. I'm going to take this out. If does -2 work? Okay. Okay, I'm going to shift to -2. You kind of understand what we're trying to do right there, Carol? Do you kind of understand what we're doing? Yeah. Yeah. So if you have a really negative number, -2 works. It already loops back. Because I put A and it looped back to Y. But if it goes back to 0, then we have a problem. For example, if you have -27. If you have -27, I already figured it out. I already know it. I know what to do now. Yes. Okay. So if we have to do the mod thing again. Okay. So okay, if we have to do the mod, and then one way is going to go the other way. Okay, I got it. So if that is less than 0, and I got it, and I plus shift is less than -26. Okay. Then what we have to do is loop back. So we're going to, we have to go back again on the right hand side. Right here. I'm going to, okay. We're going to modulus it. I think this should have to be a positive. I'm pretty sure this is positive. Let's see if this works. No, I don't like that. I think we need the -1. So when you're in the washroom, we figured it out there. Oh, okay. Do you remember this symbol right here? Modulus? Do you remember this percentage, this mod? So this is, I will open up a new tab and we'll explain it out. Okay? You know how we go A to Z? A to Z, right? This would be like 0 to 25, I believe. Right? Now, if we shift beyond that, what do we have to do there, Yuna? If we shift, let's say, 27, it's out of range. Agree or disagree? And so how do we fix this is we need to loop back to A, right? We need to loop back. How do we do it, Carol? So what we have to do is Rugwa, we have to do a test. If my I plus my shift, so I found the value, I is the location, right? If my I plus my shift is E 25大，我是要干什么？ you need to find out the remainder. So instead of foo r, what we can do is use this percent sign. We can mod 26. What this does is it finds out the remainder. Okay, it's the same as dividing. And so we'll find out the leftovers and we'll just shift over the leftovers here. And so the idea then is you just take your new location will be equal to I plus your shift if it's too big. All right. And then what you're going to do is you mod it by the alphabet. Oh, why did I put 26? Yeah, 26, I guess 0 to 20. This is going to give you the new location that shifted over to that. Okay, so that's what we added to the code. You can add right here. You see? We just model it hit. This will loop back. Okay. Can you explain that to Chinese to Yuna? What is this this part right here? Oh, you're good? All right. All right. Your schoolwork. I want you to do the 一样的想法, but what happens if it's 负号? If you go minus, it'll give you 错误, 对不对? And so how to shift to the right, okay? And then that's it for today, okay? Okay. Yes. Pardon me? Good. I guess we have some online folks how to get the negative there. I'll let you guys play with it. I'm gonna think about this. It's more than negative 26. The negative works, but I have to make sure it's within its range. I think it's going to be negative. It's going to be 2. Let me print. Okay, 25. All right, so what happens if it's negative 50? Okay, that worked. Okay, what happens if it's negative 150? It worked. What? Why did this? Okay. Okay, it seems to be working. So I don't actually have to do that. If it's greater than that, or my shift is less than this, we get the error. So this has to be this. Got it. Do that. We don't need this code. All right, let me hit run. Okay. Okay. Shifted right around. Okay. Negative 150. Let's see if this works. Well, it doesn't give me an error anymore. Cool. Okay, homework. Can you girls, if you haven't done the other coding one, can you do that now there, Carol? About the 0.10? Have you done 0.10? I think Yuna finished, right? Do the imports. You can do No, it's a 0 point this one right here there. Okay, Carol? Can you try this one that it makes a random number using imports? Okay.